introduction, and it's an honor for me to be here. And it's so nice to go out to Minnesota, get some place warmer right here. And so today we're going to talk about the cross-domain cyber-physical system for smart city, addressing mobility challenges by cross-domain system and data. And hopefully, by the end of this talk, it'll be interesting why this is interesting research direction for computer science and systems. So the first question is, what is the cyber-physical system? The basic idea we're going to see is communication, computation, and control integrated not only in our smartphones, laptops, but also in this larger physical system. Those systems in the physical world will upload data to the cyber world, and those data will be processed to get some real-time knowledge, and those knowledge will be used to control the physical system to improve their efficiency. So that's CPS. And my research is focused on the CPS in the urban area, because urban CPS. So why urban CPS is important? Because while in a rapid process of urbanization, urban people only 3% of our population, and are 55% for now, will become 70% in 2050. And such a rapid urbanization leads to several sustainability challenges. For example, in the US, the congestion delay has been increased for the last 30 years, which leads to the urban inefficiency. And the gas consumption has also been increased for the last 30 years, which leads to climate change. To address those sustainability challenges, the White House announced this 160 million smart city initiative 6 months ago. And in the next few years, including this year, several government funding agencies will support research for smart cities, including NSF, DOT, DOE. And in this context, my research is focused on the cross-domain urban system around the world. For example, we are working on the system in New York City, San Francisco, Washington, D.C., Rome, Beijing, Shanghai, and Shenzhen. And in the Chinese city Shenzhen, which is our biggest platform, we have to work on the taxi cab, bus, train, truck, loop sensor, electric vehicles, smart cars, and cell phones. Those are amazingly complex distributed systems interacting with each other at urban scale in real time. They can generate data, they can process data, they can communicate with each other through the data. So those are computers. And to improve the system, it is essential to study the data reproduce. We have been working on several types of data across different urban domains. For the transportation domain, we're working on the vehicle GPS data from 500,000 vehicles. And for the telecommunication domain, we're working on the data from 17 million cell phones. And for the finance domain, we're working on the data from the smart cars, which is about 60 million smart cars. And we're also working on some map data, including the intersection and road segments about the geography domains. With those systems and the data in mind, our research vision is that those urban systems will generate cross-domain urban data, which for us to design some data-driven model to have some cross-domain knowledge. Those knowledge will be used by us to design a knowledge-enabled application to actually provide a positive feedback, cross-domain feedback to the urban system themselves to improve their efficiency. And finally, the improved system will generate new data, which will be used by the model and application again to further improve the system. So this is the data-driven closed-loop CPS across different urban domains. And with this vision in mind, there's two research goals. The first one is to deeply understand the urban physical phenomenon by cross-domain urban data-driven models. And based on this understanding, the second goal is to synergistically manage the urban physical system by cross-domain knowledge-enabled application. So with those two goals, and this slide is an overview of my research. For the urban system part, I designed a protocol for faster and efficient data collection to capture this cross-domain data. And with those data, we designed some data-driven model to capture the generic urban physical phenomena like human mobility, travel patterns, traffic speed, passenger demand, transit supply. And based on combination of those physical phenomena model, we have lots of cross-domain knowledge for us to design a knowledge-enabled application, such as ride sharing, last mile transit, pricing, and navigation to actually improve urban system efficiency by providing positive feedback to those systems. So my intellectual core here is that this synergistic cross-domain system. We use those systems to design the data-driven model to understand the urban phenomena, and based on this understanding, we design some knowledge-enabled application to improve the urban efficiency. So in this short talk, I will use this human mobility and mobility-driven ride sharing as an example to show how we understand the urban phenomena and improve urban efficiency based on this understanding.
Sorry, so the tool that you're using to improve urban efficiency, like the management tool here, is just giving more information to people through apps? There's no incentivizing or rule making or anything
There's some design in the ride sharing. We have some scheduling part to how to optimize those kind of arrangement to manage the urban resources. I will talk about that in the ride sharing work. Thank you. So this is the outline of the talk. First, I will talk about the two research projects: urban mobility modeling and mobility-driven ride sharing. And for every project, I will talk about introduction, design, and implementation and evaluation. Finally, I will talk about my future work here. We first start with the introduction of urban mobility modeling, and this work is published in Mobicon 14 and CITES Spatial 15. And the high-level goal of this project is to model human mobility at the urban scale in real time. For example, in New York City, how many people travel from downtown Manhattan to Central Park in the last hour? And this kind of mobility modeling has many real-world applications, such as epidemiology and urban planning, transportation, social network, and location-based services. To capture the human mobility, several theoretical models have been proposed. For example, the gravity model and the radiation model. However, a key feature of those models is that they cannot capture the urban dynamics at fine spatial temporal granularity. Recently, we have lots of real-time location tracking devices become available. For example, we have cell phones, onboard GPS, and smart cars. Those devices generate massive mobility data, which hold the key potential to revolutionize our human mobility modeling here. Based on those data, several models have been proposed. For example, the model based on the subway data, bus data, cell phone data, and the taxi cab data. However, a key drawback of this model is that they are essentially driven by the small data, which is small sample collected offline from a single domain, which leads to biased sampling and the overfitting of those models. So before I introduce my approach, let me tell a story first. It's called the blind man and the elephant. So 6 blind men touch different parts of the elephant to learn what it is. And the man grabs the tail, something like a rope, and the man touches ear, something like a fan. Clearly, each of them just got this partial view of this elephant, cannot get the big picture of this elephant. However, since they already captured the different aspects of this elephant, it is possible for us to combine those partial view, which is an independent component together to get this big picture about the elephant. Therefore, the key idea for this project is to combine the partial view, which is a single domain data-driven model, for the big picture, which is the cross-domain data-driven model, for the better knowledge about the human mobility pattern at the urban area. So the key intellectual contribution of this work is a technique called multi-view bounding. It is a data-driven model integration technique. We consider different urban domains as different views. We try to quantify the bias of the individual views to bound this unknown phenomenon from different perspectives. So essentially, the model driven by this kind of technique is driven by the data from urban scale collected online across different domains, which fit the classic definition of big data with a high volume, high velocity, and a high variety.
Question.
Sure.
That requires, I guess, online interaction between the various groups and the various domains that we're talking about. How do you do that without destroying privacy and security? Moreover, it is even in a city, so there is a city government. The city government has something to say about it.
Yes.
How is the city government involved?
Yes. There's 2 questions. Okay. First question about the privacy and security based on the interdependency or interaction between different systems, right? For that part, right now we do not deploy our own infrastructure. We try to use the data that already collected the building and manage the purpose to do the modeling and design the application here. And for the privacy part, we use the identified data, and we focus on the aggregated result instead of individual or passenger traces. And we drop off lots of valuable information like the cell phone number, building address. We only use the.
But how do you get this information in the first place?
We have some collaboration with some local government and also some startup company and also cell phone company. They already collect the data for the building and management purpose. We provide some, our expertise to them to design a model and visualization for them. In return, they give us data to do the research.
Final question. So you do not expect data online all the time. For example, if you want to know that the traffic is clogged somewhere, it's not enough to get some data from somewhere. You have to have the current data. Yeah. You don't talk to them.
They already have this kind of GPS devices installed in lots of commercial vehicles. and they collect the data online, and we can tap into their servers to get their data, but it's read-only information. We cannot tamper the data. We can only read the data about the location, the GPS location, and the vehicle ID, those kind of information. Yeah. We can tell the detail later.
So isn't it again a sample of your entire space? Like you said, like you just mentioned commercial vehicles. That's not the number of commercial vehicles is not reflective of the entire.
Yes, that's why this is the question I'm trying. This is the challenge I'm trying to addressing. Okay, I will talk about a little bit detail later. Okay.
So this is probably a question that you might want to answer later. But the point is, all of these startups and companies, they gave the data to you because they know you're academic researchers. In the real world, how do you see somebody deploying this?
Deploying the services.
So gathering data. Who would be that central agency that gathers all of this data?
A lot of government agencies right now, the administration, the White House are pushing forward this kind of open data initiative. A lot of city government already open kind of their real world data in their own data web portal. You can get on their data to gather some more information.
The president cannot command me to give my data to anyone.
It's not individual data, it's not commercial vehicle data.
Oh, you don't deal with traffic, normal traffic.
But commercial vehicle is a part of the traffic here.
No, but the other traffic too. You don't deal with it.
We don't have the infrastructure to collect the private vehicle. That's the challenge I'm trying to address. How to infer this kind of private information, private vehicle information based on commercial information.
I think later in the talk you will exactly when you talk about experiments say where the data comes from.
Yes, a little bit of data, yes. Thank you. This is more like a big picture. So right now I use the DeshengZhang data example to show the variety of our model here. And there's several kind of data across different domains we have been using. For the telecommunication, we are using cell phone CPR data, which every record gives us a SIM card ID, a time, a cell tower, activity, is a phone call, a text message, or is a data access. And for the geography domain, we're working on the intersection, road segment, region, and point of interest data. To combine the two domains together, we have this cell phone CPR map. And by analyzing the record of the one cell phone user, we can have the origin and the destination for a specific cell phone user here. And for the transportation, we are working on the taxi cab data. So every record gives us a vehicle ID, a time, a location, and the status, with the passenger or without the passenger. Therefore, we can infer the origin, which is a pickup location, and the destination, which is a drop-off location for passengers. And for the subway and the bus passenger, we use the...
Just for clarification, we talked about, you have the number of passengers, you don't have the identity.
Yes. They pay cash. There's no way we can get them. And for this one,
I do that all the time.
And for this one, we have some information about the car ID, but it's not a smart car. We use their smart card to track their origin destination for bus and the subway passengers. We have every record gives a time, a location, and activity. Get in the station, get out of the subway station, get on the bus, get on the bus. Therefore, based on the station map, we can have the origin and the destination for the subway passenger and the bus passenger. So after the introduction, I will talk about the little bit design here. So we use a concept called the mobility graph to capture the human mobility. So every vertex here indicates a location based on partition of the city. And it indicates one edge, two vertices together, indicate the mobility volume between one region to another region. For example, based on the taxi cab data, we know there's 10 passengers travel from the location A to location B during the last hour. And with this mobility graph, we can use transportation as a view to describe the human mobility. We can combine the mobility graph of the obtained by the taxi cab data, bus data, subway data, and the private transportation data, which is something here, and I'll show maybe easier to see there. And to get this comprehensive human mobility graph. But currently, there is no urban infrastructure capture those private vehicles in real time at urban scale. So we are missing one part for the private transportation here. And alternatively, we can use the cell phone as a view to describe the human mobility. We can combine the mobility graph of active cell phone user together with the inactive cell phone user to get this comprehensive human mobility graph. But when the user do not use their cell phone, we cannot track their locations. And therefore, we're also missing one part for the inactive cell phone user here. So the key intellectual challenge we are facing here, we call the uncertain view incompleteness under different spatial temporal context here. So every view itself is incomplete, but they are kind of complementary to each other. And the existing multi-view learning technique have to assume the completeness of every view cannot be used to address this challenge. It motivates us to design a new technique to address this challenge. So based on our elegant story, every transportation modality gives us a small picture with a high resolution, and the cell phone gives us a big picture with a low resolution. So we try to combine the small pictures with a high resolution together with the big picture with a low resolution to get this big picture with a high resolution.
Do you know, is there evidence about how biased the active users of cell phones versus?
It's hard. It's very challenging. I'll talk a little bit about that later. It's very challenging because people use their cell phone in different contexts here. And when they take the subway or they drive their car, they don't use their cell phone. We don't know their location. And also, it's very hard to infer the ground truth. I will talk a little bit later about the mobility, about the cell phone. Okay. So the technique we have been developing called the context-aware multi-view bonding. And I will use the mobility from A to B during specific time t, we call X star, as example to show how we obtain this graph edge by edge, then we combine them together. We have K different views, different domains. In our implementation, K is equal to 2 because we have the cell phone view and the transportation views. Okay? And for every domain, every view, it gives us a xk, which is the mobility observed by the specific view K alone. Okay? This is sk. And we also introduce a set of parameters, which is we call the WK. It shows the completeness degree of this specific view K. It can be also used to quantify the bias of this view. And based on our setting, K and XK are given by our data and the existing model. But the X star, which is the ground truth, we try to infer how many people travel from one region to another region, and the W, which is a set of parameters we introduce to quantify the bias of views, are unknown. So we come up with a joint optimization to get this X star and the W together. So the big picture is that we use a loss function to describe the distance between this X star and the W, Sk, and we have this distance with this Wk. So we do this for all the views. We combine them together, use this as our objective function, which indicate the overall weighted deviation from the unknown ground truth. So we try to find the X star and the W that minimize this objective function under our regularization function as our ground truth and W. So the rationale behind this objective function is that we will have a high penalty if a more complete view deviated from the truth. But it is okay for a less complete view deviated from the truth. Okay? So the question becomes, given this formulation, how to get this X star and W. So we developed a technique based on the block correlated descent. It has just 3 steps. The step 1 is that we do initialization about X star and Wk based on the average value of Xk, because this initialization does not affect our final results. And step 1 is that we fix X star and optimize W based on our objective function. After we have this optimized W, we fix W and optimize X star. After we have this optimized X star, we go back to step 1 to further fix X star and optimize W. So this is an iterative process until the result converge. So the question becomes, can this result converge? Which is based on what kind of loss function and the regularization function I've been using here. So in this work, we use the normalized square loss as our loss function and the negative log function as our regularization function. So in the paper, we directly prove that our optimization based on those two convex functions are essentially convex. Therefore, based on the property of our block coordinate descent, and the convergence is guaranteed. This is how we obtain this X star for a specific edge from A to B during a specific time t. And similarly, we can have this X star from AC and X star from CB. Then we combine together to get the comprehensive human mobility graph. And after the design, I will talk about the implementation. This is the detail here. And we're collaborating with our co-author in Chinese Academy of Sciences and the Department of Transportation in Shenzhen to implement a data collection protocol called the Shenzhen Standard. It collects 4 kinds of data: cell phone, bus, subway, and taxi. And this figure gives the number of the residents captured by those 4 kinds of data sources for every 5 minutes on 24-hour day. Therefore, we can easily identify the morning rush hour, the lunch break, and the evening rush hour. So those data are mainly processed by 2 clusters, one in Minnesota Supercomputing Institute, the other in Shenzhen. And the 2 I've been using including the Hadoop, Storm, Peak, and Hive, those standard big data processing tools. And before we process those data to our model, we have to figure out what is the spatial temporal granularity we want. In this work, we are working with our collaborators in Shenzhen Department of Transportation to use this urban partition as our spatial partition, and we do the modeling for every hour. So different colors indicate different urban density, and right now we roughly have 500 regions here, and for the density in the downtown area, the airport is pretty high. And based on this partition and the specific data source, for example, cell phone data, we can have this cell phone mobility graph. So our vertex here indicates the urban region, and the one edge link two vertices together indicates the mobility volume between those two regions, and different color indicates different urban district. For example, in the downtown area, we have lots of mobility going on here. And similarly, this is how we obtain this cell phone mobility graph. Similarly, we have the mobility graph for the transportation. Now we use our technique to combine it together. We call this model MPAT, which is short for mobility pattern. And this is the elephant we want to get in our metaphor. And after the implementation, I will talk about the evaluation of it.
How big is the city? Because to give us an idea.
14 million people and 2,000 square kilometers in the twin city of Hong Kong.
So is it real time or you coming on the offline?
Offline right now. Because for every hour we need about 65 seconds to get the model here. And for some data set we can have real-time access. For some data set we cannot have real-time access. Yes. And we use 3 months of data, approximate data, to do this evaluation. And we compare our result with an inferred ground truth, which is obtained by a separate cell phone data set. It has a cell phone location updating record. Log the user's location for every 15 minutes, even without the cell phone activity. So based on this data set, we can have this inferred ground truth about the urban mobility here. And the MPAT is our result. By some visual comparison, we can see we underestimated some mobility at the residential area and overestimate some mobility at the downtown area. And we also compare our cross-domain idea with this single-domain idea by comparing our results with single-domain data-driven model called WIR, which is published in MobiSense 13. And this is the result. We have 2 curves for 2 models. The x-axis is 24-hour day. The y-axis is metric we call the MAPE, mean average percentage error. And as shown by those 2 curves, for the morning rush hour and for the early morning and the late night, the error rate for those 2 models is pretty high because we do not have public transportation and people do not use their cell phone a lot. For the morning and evening rush hour, the error rate becomes pretty low because we have very strong commuting pattern. And for the daytime, due to the random mobility, those 2 error rates are also pretty high compared to the rush hours. Okay. So, okay.
But how do you know what the ground truth is?
Yes, we have also here. It's obtained by, inferred by a different cell phone data set. It has log cell phone user's location for every 15 minutes, even without cell phone activity. This data set is collected by the cell phone carrier to test the peak performance of their infrastructure. It's not collected by all the cell phone users everywhere, but we use this one to infer the ground truth. It's very hard to get the ground truth of human mobility because unless we put the GPS tracker in everyone's car or something like that, it's very hard to get the mobility, real-time mobility pattern. But it's fact what we can do here.
So how many people or how many phones are you tracking? I mean, you said 14 million phones live in this area.
Right, actually, our phone number is more like number of people there because for lots of users that have multiple phones. Right now, we have 3 carriers back in China, and right now our phone is about 13 million. And the permanent residents in Shenzhen are only about 12 million, but we have a lot of people traveling to Shenzhen or other things. Yeah.
Who is collecting this data?
This is collected by the cell phone company. They use this one for the building and the management purpose.
So cell phone company in China knows where I am good, where
At the cell tower level, because for example, if you want to know why they charge you for this kind of, it's also similar here to AT&T and T-Mobile. If you want, if they want to charge you for something, they have to tell you which cell tower level you make your phone call. For example, you make your phone call at the cell tower near the downtown of Manhattan. So they know your location at the cell tower level instead of GPS level. That's why we do the modeling at the region level instead of a very specific GPS level. They know your location at the cell tower level.
Of course, but they know where I'm moving from one cell to another.
When you make a phone call, yes, they know. Because they have to charge you for that, right?
When I make a phone call or when I'm moving?
When you make a phone call, they will collect that data for the regular billing purpose.
Even when your phone is off, like I took a trip to Canada, my phone was off the entire time. When I turned it back on, I got a message, welcome to Canada.
Oh, that's great, but the question is if there is a record of your track. And if there is a record, it's very bad.
there's no record about your track, just a log how your phone associated with the cell towers. Based on that, we can infer your.
So only if I'm making call, not if I'm there.
There's two kinds of data set. One is when you make phone call, they collect it for your billing purpose. The other one is to check the peak performance of their infrastructure. In that sense, they just log your interaction with the cell towers. Yes.
But isn't it the case that this data is private to the company? I mean, AT&T is not going to share it with even Verizon or Sprint, right? I mean, why would they share it with some other third party?
The things that they publish their own paper. AT&T has actually our comparison is with NTT, their research lab, and they use they have interns there every summer, and they do the research to provide some.
So that's AT&T only data, right?
Yes.
But I mean, what you're saying is you want to sort of combine this information across all
Yes.
of these sources.
Yes.
So I mean,
Yes.
The
data set we have here is about in Shenzhen. We have collaborating with the local government. They collect the data from all their own urban infrastructure to do the smart city research. They don't care about the individual person there. They just try to figure out the flow of the city, try to maximize their utility of the city. In that sense, yeah. Instead of tracking individual person, we don't have an idea about it.
I don't want to spend too much more time, but just one quick question is, so for the ground truth,
Yes.
what was the number of phones in that set?
Yes, it's still it's the same number of phones with those kind of CDR record. It's 12 million
Okay,
phones.
so
yeah.
it's
Same
a
phones.
huge, it's like not,
Not a small number.
it's big, yeah.
You just mentioned you use Storm and Hadoop to process
Yes.
the data, but it's offline data, so why you use Storm?
Storm is a process of transportation data because we have transportation and the cell phone. There are different characteristics, so we use different tools to process the different things. For the cell phone, it's offline, but for the transportation, it's online. Yes, because the taxi, they have the 3G, communication devices to upload data to the cell tower in real time. So
Just a clarification. So normally, even if I have a phone, I'm not using it. I mean, it pings every 15 seconds, whatever it is.
yeah.
So I'm trying to understand what's the difference between me not making a call and making a call. I mean, even if I do not make a call, you have the 15-second ping that goes to the cell tower. So is the information that I actually made a call important for your data at all?
Yes, because that is two separate data sets. All the cell phone carrier have to store those kind of CDR data, which is about your billing thing. But for those kind of streaming data about your location, they don't have to store it. Sometimes they store it to take the peak performance of that. Yes. Okay. So this is the result, and I convinced our collaborators to release 20 GB of course to me data. If you are interested, you can check online. And we got lots of compliment on that. This is the first time this course to me data got released about taxi, bus, truck, subway, cell phone, and the smart cars. And so the big picture behind this work is that we use a different urban system across a different urban domain with a new technique called multi-view bounding, and to infer a very specific urban physical phenomenon called human mobility. And we have to generalize this idea to use a more urban system to infer more urban phenomena, physical phenomena about the traffic speed, travel pattern, passenger demand, transit supply. And based on combination of those urban physical phenomena model, we have lots of cross-domain knowledge. Then we formulated some optimization problem to optimize the urban resources by some novel application, like ride sharing, dispatching, navigation, and advertising. And those applications will provide a positive feedback to the existing urban system. So by comparing the state of art, our contribution about the modeling here is that we consider different urban domains instead of one domain here, and we come up with a new technique to address how to combine those different urban domain data together to infer some physical phenomena, and we call the multi-view bounding. And compared to other state of art for the application level, our contribution is more like a formulated this kind of optimization problem based on the cross-domain knowledge instead of solving it. Okay. So what's interesting about the urban phenomenon inference is to show the interdependency between different phenomena. For example, we use a ratio rho, which is the mobility demand over transit supply, to draw this heat map. The darker the area, the higher the passenger demand, the lower the transit supply. So which motivated us to design some no application to address those kind of inefficiency about urban transportation, which is the ride sharing. So in the next few slides, I will talk about the mobility-driven ride sharing. And this work is published in Census 13 and IPSN 15. And we'll start with the taxi. Then I will generalize the taxi to the private vehicle and the logistic trucks. the high-level goal of this project is to improve the mobility efficiency, which will reduce the traffic congestion and the gas consumption for the taxi cab network. In New York City, every taxi cab is equal to 20 private vehicles in terms of the cruising mileage, and all the taxi cabs in New York City consume 32 million gallons of gas, which is higher than some middle-sized countries such as Central Africa. And based on our data analysis, we found that there's 1.3 passenger per trip, which means that if we use a sedan, there's 70% of the capacity is wasted. And we also found a lot of similar traveling patterns. A lot of users, they go from similar origin to the similar destination to the similar time. Therefore, 3-4 ideas to share this capacity. And after we published our paper in 2013, there are several follow-up more. Actually, the Uber pool, which is a real-world service provided by Uber, but they still use their own data, their single domain knowledge. They did not consider this overall urban mobility information. So in contrast, we try to use this new opportunity, cross-domain knowledge about different urban areas. So we combine the model knowledge from the model about urban mobility demand, the transit supply, transit and the fare model to design a comprehensive service we call the co-ride to minimize the ride-sharing costs. It also has an impact on different urban domains. For example, transportation, we try to use the minimal mileage to deliver all the passengers, and we try to reduce the energy consumption. We also can reduce the potential to reduce the fare by splitting the fare between the co-riders together. The key intellectual contribution about this work is that we propose a cross-domain knowledge-enabled resource sharing framework. We consider those different transportation in the urban area as resources, and we come out with a bounded online approximation algorithm with real-world implementation, multi-scale, multi-site evaluation, and some potential commercialization here. So after the introduction, I will talk a little bit about design.
Can I ask you a quick question? Is well known in New York City that taxi, because I participate in some studies,
yes,
is 30 to 50% of the traffic is added by taxis, right? What you're trying to do is to possibly localize the problems where this clogging happens?
Not really. We try to combine, based on the taxi cab data, we know the demand, where the origin and destination for those taxi cab passengers. Based on that, we can figure out how to coupling them together to reduce the number of the taxi used to deliver all the passengers. I will talk a little bit about our objective later.
Yes, okay. I would like to know that because then you need to know if they have passengers.
Yes,
sometimes
yes.
They just circulate and they cause trouble, right? Just for circulating.
For the New York City taxi cab data set, it's very interesting. They don't have this kind of cruising data. They only have origin and destination. But based on that, we can also infer based on the last drop off, the next pickup, we can infer your route based on the map data. Yes. Okay. So we have three components for this service. We have passenger client, cloud server, and onboard devices. All the taxis are equipped with onboard devices. If you upload the real-time status, for example, location with the passenger without passenger to the cloud server, and this cloud server will monitor the supply and the demand in real time. And if a passenger wants to do the ride sharing, the passenger uses the client to submit a request to the cloud server. Based on this request and the status of all nearby taxi and other urban infrastructure system, the cloud server will decide the schedule and estimate the fare and send the scheduled fare back to the passenger client and the onboard devices. In the real world, the taxi will pick up passengers and drop them off one by one. Okay. And in this short talk, I will focus on schedule calculation here, and I will use the example of all requests from the same origin to show the design for our ride sharing, and it also can be applied to the multiple origin situation. For example, 4 requests, they from the same origin from A to B to C to D to E, and the weight of these edges means the travel mileage or travel time if we have real-time traffic information. And based on this request graph, we want to get this delivery graph, which is a connected spokes, which is a connected graph with a spoke structure. So every pass here indicates a shared ride. For example, passenger go to E, D, C will share the same vehicle, okay, and deliver in that order. So we formulated this problem as an optimization problem.
So just before you go into the details, like I'm confused by the incentive model here.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying a vehicular network provider like Uber or someone has to now acquire data from multiple sources, build a cross-domain model, and then run various algorithms on it, and then provide. Or probably you can aggregate data and minimize various things, various attributes. So what is the incentive
Yes,
for
yes.
the people? And the second question, which is a follow-up with this, is like, what happens if there is noise in the data? And in fact, like maybe just using the local data that Uber has may be beneficial.
Okay. There's a different objective between our work and Uber's. Because Uber is a company, they try to maximize their profit. And we collaborate with the city government, we try to optimize the city resources in terms of transportation. So if a passenger wants to participate in the ride sharing, they can submit a request to that. And for the motivation for the passengers, we have a fare model there. They can reduce the passenger taxi cab trip fare. In that case, right here, the assumption that if every passenger is willing to participate, what kind of maximal benefit we can have. But there's a lot of user behavior, model get involved and to make it more practical. But right now, our assumption that if every passenger is willing to participate, and what kind of the upper bound of the permission we can have. Yes.
And what are your assumptions on the data? Like you've been
Yes.
alluding to aggregated data.
The data is pre-processed by the engineering at the taxi cab company or the city government. There's not a lot of noise there, and because we only have near the origin and the destination to figure out the ride sharing situation. For other like traffic speed or something like that, they have the GPS information. Based on that, we have the location and the traffic speed, and they have some standard technique. We don't have a contribution there. We can discuss a little bit more detail now.
You mean you know the traffic from previous study? You don't know the traffic now, or do you know the traffic?
We know the traffic now, but we use the existing technique to design the traffic model here.
But in order to know the traffic now, you have to monitor all the cars. It's
No.
not enough to.
No, not necessary, because we try to figure out the traffic speed. For the speed road segment, our commercial vehicle is enough to capture almost all the road segments and the different time slot. For example, the private vehicle and the commercial vehicle, they are on the same road segment. Their traveling speed should be similar instead of very different.
So the information you're using is a current information, not information studied before.
We start before doing other work or the historical information. We have some
clarification there. There's the modeling aspect of it, where you build a model and you verify the model that works, that use ground truth. Once the model is in place, you show that with limited real-time information, you basically can predict what the overall structure is. So there's the model building part, and then there's the application. The application time you use.
There. I'll talk a little bit here, almost. Okay. And we try to formulate this optimization problem based on this kind of request graph. How to get this delivery graph with a minimal weight or minimal branches, because every branch here indicates a vehicle, it has something to do with consumption, and the weight indicates energy with about the gas consumption here. We consider several real-world constraints. For example, the vehicle count must be smaller than the vehicle count, maximal vehicle supply, and the expected fare must be smaller than a regular fare to motivate the passenger to get involved in this service. And also expected travel duration must be smaller than the regular travel duration plus tolerant delay time, which is provided by the user. Okay. So those kind of different parameters are obtained by our model. For example, transit supply model, we know what is the nearby taxi cab now. And for example, we have the fare model to calculate the expected fare. And also we have the human weighted model and the traffic speed model to understand the traffic duration. If the expected duration is shorter, it's within the tolerant range of the passenger, they can get involved in this kind of ride sharing service. And we studied the complexity of this optimization. It turned out to be hard. We can reduce the traveling salesman problem to our optimization, and we come up with an online approximation with a bounded tool here. So this technique we have been developing due to time limitation. I will skip the detail. But the key message here is that the mileage obtained by our online approximation at most 2 times of the optimal solution here. So after this design, I'll cover implementation here. I have 3 components. Cloud server, passenger, client, and onboard devices. They talk to each other through the cellular network here. And this is the passenger client. It can be used to find a nearby taxi, do the ride sharing, and call for pickup here. And this is the onboard devices. It's called the taxi box. It has 3 components: central control, external devices. All the 14,000 taxi cab in Shenzhen is equipped with the basic version of the taxi box. And 100 of them has additional onboard sensing system as a camera, display, and a sensor. Is a nice test bed to do the research here. Okay. And after the implementation, I will talk about evaluation a little bit. And our evaluation is pretty comprehensive. We test the performance, the impact of different factors for our ride sharing performance. The first one is the scale. We have the regional scale, 10 square kilometers, urban scale, and the national scale, 6 million square kilometers here. Different logistics, taxi, private vehicle, and trucks, and also the impact in different locations for the city in North America, for the city in Europe, and for the city in Asia here. I will start with impact at different scale here. The first one is this regional scale with a field study. We have 3 vehicles, 12 passengers do the ride sharing for 31 days. Every passenger is waiting to participate. We hire them, and they are mostly gonna wait for up to 5 minutes at the torrent delay here. And we select one urban region with a high passenger demand, low transit supply to do this ride sharing here. And we use a metric which percentage will reduce the mileage based on the ride sharing to show the performance of our service. And M is the mileage with ride sharing. And based on the origin and destination, we can also know the mileage without the ride sharing. So based on this, we have this performance graph. And so every day we have a bar here, 31 days. The x-axis, the y-axis is the percentage we reduce the mileage. On average, we can reduce the mileage by 49% if every passenger is waiting to participate and waiting for 5 minutes for this ride sharing here. So after this field study at a regional scale, we also do an urban scale field study. Not field study, urban scale, the data-driven simulation. We have 14,000 vehicles, 6 months of data. And this gives a 1-day visualization of the ride sharing traces. And this gives the results. For x-axis is seconds in terms of the tolerated delay time. And the y-axis reduces the mileage. The key message here is that if every passenger is waiting to wait for 300 seconds, which is 5 minutes, we can reduce the mileage by 45% at this urban scale vehicle network. So after we have done this urban scale evaluation, we were thinking, is it possible we can do an even larger national scale evaluation? So this is a China Expressway map, and they link different major cities in China, for example, Beijing, Shanghai, and Shenzhen. For this highly populated area, and we use a commercial vehicle network with 3,000 of logistic trucks to test the performance of our ride sharing. Right now, we don't combine the passenger together, we combine the cargo together. And this is a 1-day visualization of the ride sharing traces. We can see several big urban clusters like Beijing, Shanghai, and Shenzhen. And this gives the results. If the key message here, the axis is tolerated delay time in terms of hours. Since right now we do the cargo sharing at a different location, different cities, the tolerated delay time will be longer. And the key message here is that if every passenger is waiting, driver or company is waiting to wait for up to 25 hours, which is 1 day, we can reduce the mileage by 19%. And this is a commercial vehicle network. And we also use the data set from a private vehicle network to do this urban scale private vehicle ride sharing. And with 300,000 private vehicles here, this is their 1-day visualization traces. We can see there are lots of urban clusters. And the most number here is that we can reduce the mileage by 29% about this private vehicle network. And this data is collected by the onboard vehicle GPS navigator. Okay, because if you want to use the real-world service, you have to upload your GPS location, which includes both location and the traffic speed, to the server of the those startup company. So this is how they collect the data about the private vehicle. And for the commercial vehicle network, they own those trucks, so they deploy their infrastructure, this including a 3G, communication module in their vehicle to collect the information to manage their resources. Okay. So for the same city, we also test the performance of the impact of different logistics. For the same city, Beijing, we use 3 vehicle network, private vehicle, truck, and the taxi to show the performance of the ride sharing. And it's interesting to difference between the private vehicle, truck, and the taxi. For the private vehicle, they are mostly focused on their work places and home. And because we only have a small sample for the private vehicle here. And for the trucks, they are mostly using the marine route because they are not forbidden to go to local routes. And for the taxi, they just go to everywhere. Okay, it's the number for the private vehicle network, we can use manager 24, truck for 31, and the taxi for 37 in Beijing. This is the specific city. Okay, so the most interesting part is this one. We call it the 10 of the 6 cities. It uses the tax cab system in 6 cities around the world to see the performance of our ride sharing. Okay, the first one, of course, is New York City, and this is a 1-day visualization traces about their ride sharing activity. And we can reduce the mileage by 43% if our passenger is waiting to participate and waiting for 5 more minutes to do this. And we also have a visualization about this one over there. It shows the cumulative mileage and the pick-up or drop-off pattern for all 13,000 taxi cab for 1 day in New York City. On the left, we have the ground truth, which is the original pick-up and drop-off pattern. On the right, we have a red sharing carpooling situation. Okay. And every blue point indicates drop-off. In the morning rush hour, there is a drop-off at the Midtown Manhattan area. And the red point indicates a pick-up location. They pick up everywhere, drop-off people at the Midtown Manhattan in the morning. On the top, we have 2 curves. The purple curve indicates the ground truth, which is the cumulative mileage. And the green curve indicates the mileage about the red sharing carpooling. As shown by these 2 curves, we can always reduce the mileage about 40% if our passenger is waiting to participate and waiting for 5 minutes to do the red sharing here. Next city is San Francisco, and the red sharing at the downtown is very popular, and very dominant route is to go to the SFO, which is their airport, and the OAK, which is the airport in Oakland, is also used by the San Francisco people, and they reduce mileage by 19%. Next city is Rome. And there's lots of things going on red sharing at the downtown of Rome, near the Vatican City. And one major route is FCO, which is their airport. And we just mileage by 21% in Rome. And next one is Beijing, and we have lots of activity at different locations.
In these data sets, are the routes provided, or are the routes inferred?
Only for New York City, the route is not provided. You have to interpret the route based on original definition. For other cities, you have the route. Actually, it's GPS trace, with the passenger or without the passenger. When they're without the passenger, they're cruising, so we have information about their empty taxi. So Beijing will do the mileage by 31, to the PEK, which is their airport, pretty popular. And that's why in Shanghai, and lots of things going on near the Oriental Pearl Tower, and PVG is not very dominant. So we have another airport here, and 31% for Shanghai. And the last one is Shenzhen. For Shenzhen, we have 3 kinds of taxi cab. Urban taxi, they are more expensive, they can go anywhere. And for the suburban taxi shown by the green traces, they cannot get into the downtown. For the electric, they are cheaper actually. But for the electric vehicle, we have about 900 electric taxi in Shenzhen. That virtually can go to anywhere, but mostly they will focus on their charging station because for the current technology they have been using, they have been charged for every 6 hours. 41% for Shenzhen. So our short summary here, for different scale, it seems that the larger the scale, the lower the benefit, because we have lots of geospatial constraints in the national scale evaluation. For different logistics, the commercial vehicle has better performance than the private vehicle for now. Because so we only had.
So these results are from a field study or from a simulation?
So this one is from the regional scale. This one is from the field study. With the other from the trace-driven evaluation. Yes.
How many cars?
For which one? For this one is about 14,000 vehicles. For this one is about 50,000 vehicles. And for this one is about Beijing within one city. Okay, very small amount. Yeah. And for different locations, it seems that there's 3 key factors: pairing feature, population, and the number of vehicle used in that specific city. Okay. The most existing work, they try to figure out the managed resources at one scale for one location, at one logistics. But our work advanced state of art at 3 directions. We test the performance with the field study, and also a national scale evaluation, and also different logistics for trucks and private vehicles, and different locations around the world. After I published our work, and I received email from a startup company in Dallas, they tried to implement our ride sharing service in their Dallas taxi and limo system. So this something that can be used to track the taxi, to track the limo taxi, and figure out what kind of situation, what kind of orders we have here, and you can accept and decline offer here. Okay? And I'm working with them to design a practical ride sharing service in Dallas. It's a pretty challenging part. And 5 months ago, I received another email from London Food Takeout Company. Their service is called Deliveroo, and the idea is that you use your cell phone smartphone to order the food you like. They will tell you how long your food is away from you after you order the food. They will buy the food for you, and they will deliver it to your workplace or home. So I see this problem as a special ride sharing problem for the food takeout. We have the several origins, several destinations, shared routes, and the timely delivery. And but with some new challenges. For example, those workers are part-time workers. They get in the system, get out of the system in real time. And because this is a downtown London, they have a lot of traffic situation, weather situation, and the capacity, what kind of size of a box they can carry. They don't use trucks. They use the scooter and the bikes to do this. And also timing constraint. You don't want the food to get cold. Different food type. A lot of people don't want to mess up the smell with the Chinese food or with Indian food or American food. And also the uncertain origins. For example, if I want a burger, they can buy a burger for me from different McDonald's. Which one to go is also pretty interesting challenge. And so the big picture behind this work is to improve urban efficiency with the sharing economy. We used to share a book and DVD, which we still do. Right now we have lots of different applications like Uber, Car2Go, Zipcar, and Airbnb. So our contribution along this line is a resource sharing optimization framework. We consider different cross-domain knowledge from the city perspective, and based on different data-driven models, we have some groundwork for border logistics, scales, and the cities. And mostly existing work, we try to focus on one logistics, one scale, one city. And we have some potential opportunity for the commercialization. So after the two research projects, I will talk about my future work here. In the future, I believe the CPS will become a utility like water and electricity to support millions of applications to change our interaction with the physical world. So in the future, there's two fundamental research goals for me. The first one is to reason about the system behavior to understand the physical phenomena. And based on this understanding, how to manage this kind of billions, maybe in the future, trillions of CPS devices to improve the system efficiency. Okay? So in the first 3 years, I think I will focus on the model and application for the mobility from the interdependent system perspective. How to specify in detecting and resolving the interdependency of different systems is an interesting challenge for me. I will focus on the smart cities initiative with real-world deployment and impact. And because the White House makes this national strategic plan, I think in the next few years, also the collaboration opportunity and the funding opportunity will come to this direction. For the next 4 to 6 years, I think I will focus on the, it's very hard to predict the future right now because the big data and IoT is happening so fast. So, but I believe during that time, we still have a challenge to understand this physical phenomenon based on the model and application. But my application domain may go to something related to the mobility, for example, energy, pollution, safety, and privacy. They are tightly related to the urban mobility in a setting for homes, buildings, and cities. Essentially, a connected smart world. So, in the next few slides, I will use those. I'll talk about my short-term research, future research. In short, is to design and deploy knowledge-enabled application based on a data-driven model from the cross-domain urban system. But it is on the same track with my current research, but go deeper in 3 directions. The first one is about imperfect cross-domain data. They are kind of sparse, implicit, and untimely because they are collected for other purposes, for our research. And for this kind of second challenge is about how to address those kind of cross-domain knowledge from different perspectives in terms of different scale, tightness, and granularity. After we have perfect data and the model, how to collect the cross-domain feedback for the real-world implementation. We need a domain expert. We also need the feedback based on the platform to do this. So, 3 technical directions. The first one is the imperfect data inference based on the tensor decomposition. The second one is about semi-supervised multi-level learning for knowledge fusion. The last one is about the feedback-based intervention based on a robust MPC, model predictive control. I'll use those 3 real-world platforms I have contact with to show how to show those 3 directions in a little bit detail here. The first one is the imperfect data inference, future work direction. I'm working with our collaborator in Shenzhen and New York City to improve their accuracy about the bus route prediction. And the app we have been using in Shenzhen has more than 100,000 users. And the key challenge this service right now are facing is that the bus GPS location, the bus GPS data has lost it a lot in the downtown area because of the tall building, the communication network. And our technical approach is that we try to do a cross-domain data inference based on the nearby other vehicle, smart car information, and the nearby cell phone information to infer the bus route prediction. Yes.
Dr. Sion, is this the city of New York or what?
It's a startup company, Transact, which is a very popular. Yeah. Okay. So could be one proposal based on this research direction, could be a CRR proposal, which is the so-called media creator board. And the challenge this proposal trying to address is how to repurpose those kind of imperfect urban infrastructure data for the modeling application. The existing method try to use a single domain data based on the BSM model to do this kind of research. Now we try to propose a new approach, for example, cross-domain context or tensor decomposition. Based on this, it could be a new technique, and we may have a rapid implementation for the bus rail prediction in different cities. The second one direction about the heterogeneous knowledge fusion. I'm working with our collaborator in Shenzhen to inference energy transportation energy consumption at the real second level in real time. And the key challenge here is that it defines spatial temporal granularity. We have to figure out the energy consumption at the real second level in real time. And we have a lot of untrackable private vehicle here. For the commercial vehicle, it's easy for us to track their location because we have their data. But for the private vehicle, we cannot do it. But we try to use those kind of urban infrastructure like a cell phone, loop sensor, and a camera to track the activity about the private vehicle here. For example, for the loop sensor, it is installed at the intersection of the city, and it can be used to show the exactly traffic volume and traffic speed on 24-hour day. For example, in the morning rush hour, when the traffic goes up, the traffic speed goes down. But the key challenge is that those sensors only deployed at a limited location of the city. So we try to use this kind of heterogeneous knowledge fusion to combine those kind of urban infrastructure together with the commercial vehicle network to infer the energy consumption about the private vehicle network. And this is some preliminary result. The yellow road sum indicate the higher energy consumption. This is based on the tax cap data here. So there could be another proposal based on this one, could be CPR's regular proposal, how to integrate the cross-domain model based on for their mutually reinforced knowledge. And existing method could be, for example, ensemble learning, but they have some assumptions like independency of the model and the granularity and the explicitity of the knowledge. And we try to come up with a new technique based on multi-view learning. It could be a new technique, and we may have a rapid implementation for urban phenomenon relevant, like energy consumption here. So that's why it's about this the feedback-based intervention. So we're working with our collaborator in Department of Transportation in DC to optimize their capital backshare system. And for this is a map of their network. Every dot here indicates a station. For some station, we don't have any bike. We don't have any bike. We have a lot of buses. For some station, we don't have any dogs. We have a lot of bikes. For this situation, we cannot rent a bike. For this situation, we cannot return a bike. And right now, they use the truck to do the rebalancing. They move the bike from one station to another station. But there's some challenge. First one is that they have dynamic passenger demand, and there's a lot of rebalancing constraints because this is DC. There's another thing going on here. If the presidential motorcade came out, everything will shut down. Okay. So our technical approach here, we try to do a context-aware MPC, and we try to model the demand and supply based on the cross-domain data, and we try to minimize the rebalancing cost and the supply and the demand mismatch for this system. So this could be another career proposal from just one career proposal. It tries to address this fundamental challenge about urban mobility and supply. How to rebalancing the supply based on the demand with our cross-domain data-driven model under a complex real-world constraint here. And there could be a new technique, and we may have a reference implementation for the DC and Minneapolis bike share system. So if I come here, I believe I can find a lot of collaborations here, and my research has a great synergy with those research groups, and mostly in the system side, but also in the mobile computing and data side. And there are several research centers I want to get involved if I come here for the CGDA and RDI Square, WinLab, and the VTC, which is transportation. And most importantly, I think my research is also closely, directly related to the Rogers strategic plan. For example, how to create a sustainable world, and improving the wellness of individual and population is the ultimate goal of smart city research. Okay. I'll show the summary of this talk. In this talk, I talk about the cross-domain CPS for smart cities. We use a different urban system across different domains with their data with a new technique called multi-view bounding to infer urban physical phenomena with a lot of vehicles, 17 million cars, 17 million homes in different cities. And based on a combination of those models, we design several novel applications to manage the urban resources. And it's a new technique based on the constraint optimization. We have 3 scale, 3 logistics, 6 cities. We have potential commercialization. Those applications actually improve urban system to close the loop. In the 3 directions for the future work, the first one is imperfect data inference, business knowledge fusion, and feedback intervention on the system side, how to optimize the urban system performance. The intellectual core of my research is this cross-domain CPS. And basically, we design the system model and application based on cross-domain data, knowledge, and feedback. This kind of design philosophy can be applied to other scenarios, for example, autonomous driving, energy, pollution, safety, and potentially to other domains, for example, healthcare and manufacturing. So, in this talk, I talk about those 10 different urban systems and about my work about CPS for smart city. But the key message I'm trying to deliver in this talk is that those are amazingly complex distributed systems interacting with each other at urban scale in real time. They generate those cross-domain data for us to do the modeling to understand the urban phenomenon. And we have a lot of knowledge to design a lot of applications to actually improve urban efficiency to address those urban sustainability challenges in our urbanization. So I will take a moment to thank all the PI I've been working with and all the students working with me, and I will take some questions and understanding. Thank you.